So now, product designers, I know they are already shaking their seats and they are like, oh, what is going to happen now? So I have come for you guys. Perfection, thank you. We appreciate you for all you have done for us. Perfection did not collect money from you guys, and they have shared all of this knowledge and all. So let's meet the next speaker. So we're done with the questions for Perfection. Hi, Chino. So Chino is is popularly known as mid-age, the creative young individual. Let me tell you something about this guy. If you go on, I don't know, if you go on his Instagram page, all right, the kind of design you see or the kind of portfolio you see, you will just be like, oh God, what am I seeing? I will drop this link. So for those that want to go and share. So you're going to learn a lot of things from me this afternoon. This evening. I'm used to meetings in the afternoon. So he has worked with over 100 businesses in Nigeria, right? And he has a lot of brands that he works with. He has started his own company and he has worked with foreign clients and even clients in Nigeria, and he works as a product designer at different companies. As I speak right now, this guy is really like making the money. Obviously, you can see the profile and things around with it as I speak right now. So, like, bringing guys like this on this platform to come and spend 2 hours with you, it's not a joke, all right? So please, I want you to, do all the drum roll. Even if you are not a product designer, please wait and hear from me. Because even if you are building software engineering is not just all about writing code and just building websites and nobody comes back there. Software engineering has moved to the next level. All right, that's moved to the next step whereby you need to understand even product design as a mobile developer or as a front-end developer. You need to understand something around product design to be able to deliver a job effectively. You need to have product experience. So please listen well. I want to see in the comment section. I want your fire. All those fire. Anticipate. I want to see it. I want to know maybe you really want it. If I don't get enough thing, I'll just round up the website. I can do it. I can do it. Don't worry. All of those things that you're asking, you will get to see them. All right. Just follow us on Instagram. Just follow us on Instagram. You will get every information. Let me tell you something. Following Collatrek on Instagram is a network for you already and a platform to get information. When you go to our page, you see a lot of information, content inside our page. So I don't need to still tell anything about that for now, but just anticipate. Okay, I'm happy to see all of these things and it's quite impressive. So, hi Shino, are you there?
I am. I'm here. Hello.
Oh, I can't see your face.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Can you see me?
How come we aren't seeing your face?
Okay. I'm very shy, actually.
But your background I'm seeing right now looks,
Okay.
it's really like.
Can you see my face? Sorry,
amazing.
Jesus. Sorry. No. That's not what is happening. No. It's my camera is turned the other way. Look at me here, please. I'm here. Sorry for that.
Amazing. Hi, Shino. What's up now?
Yeah.
The big boys making the money. The big boys making the money. I'm bringing my open check tomorrow. I'm bringing my open check so I can write something on it. It's the other way around. I'll bring my check. I'll bring a check. I will not write on it. I will now go to the bank to cash out. It's nice to have you on this platform this evening. We really appreciate it. I appreciate you on behalf of everybody. All right? Everybody. I have mentioned this to everybody. For now, just follow us on Instagram. Whatever thing that you need on Instagram, you get it. Thank you, David, for dropping the link. Just enter. I don't want us to distract. Everybody. Just join the community first. Follow us on Instagram. The community that you have belonged to, like for this webinar, we are going to keep the community. You will see job posts and different things every single day. So don't bother yourself. Like you have entered the right community already. So, hi Shino. So what do you have for us? Like within 5 minutes, we want to know who Shino is really. Like who is Shino? Like I know I did not describe you. All right, I did not describe you definitely.
Okay.
I want to know who you are. Like, let everybody know. Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Shego, and to everybody. Good evening,
Yeah,
y'all.
good evening.
My name is Adeshina, and you can just call me Midday for short. So I like the name Midday, and I'm really just a
Okay,
simple
we
guy.
did Emiloko. All
I'm
right.
not that I'm not that complicated as he has, audio profile and all. I'm just a simple creative guy, and I can say that when it comes to what I do, I love it so much, and it has really helped me in actually appealing to people that give me, you know, my daily bread. Let me just say it like this: that I love visuals, and I've heard Mr. Perfection talk a lot about code and all. It's very amazing, but I personally love visuals, and when it comes to visuals, it's, let's just say, it's my superpower. So it has helped me to define myself in the face of other people and other clients, and it really is something that gives me confidence because when you understand what you are good at, not just because of what you have learned, but because it resonates with who you are as a visual person, it helps you to express yourself the more. So for me, I'm simple, I'm creative, I love visuals, and I love what I do. So I think that should summarize who I am while you continue.
Okay, so before I move into like my personal questions, like for product designers out there, they feel like there's this thing about them, like they just want to see someone who is like, it's easy to see software engineers that are really making it. If I'm correct, like
Yes.
it's very much easier than product designers, right? And it's not as if there are no
Yeah, that's true.
opportunities in product design. So like it's good when they see people that have really like done the thing and help. So the questions I'll be asking this evening, but it's not to push doubt. So let me go into my questions as fast as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you share with us your professional experience with respect to how you got started, like your journey and what product design really is
Okay.
for you and what your journey has really been about? Yeah.
All right, Mr. Shegun, thank you very much. So I believe everyone can hear me very well. I
Yeah,
believe
sure.
everyone can hear
Okay.
me. So, all right, so let's
Yes, I
In the
can
go
hear
comment
you.
section, you can hear you.
on.
Yeah, have the floor.
Product design, very amazing. Like Mr. Shegun said, you don't have to really code. You don't have to even code for you to be in the tech space. And I am a living example of that because when it comes to product design, I've always been a person that is driven by solutions. So product design is basically like I said, you design a solution. I prefer to call every product a solution because what you're doing is you are creating a solution that resonates with users and then solves their problem. So product design on its own could be in various aspects, but as a result of this webinar, I believe that everybody is expecting to hear things about a beautiful UI in Figma and all those kind of stuff. But no, what you'll be hearing will be different. What you'll be hearing is all about solutions. And for me, how it started was on that three things. The first thing was I really needed to upscale, then I need to transition, and then also I needed growth. So that is how it started for me. Originally, I started as a graphic designer, and to be sincere with you, there was something I would like to call skill saturation. When I say skill saturation, it meant not that the whole market is saturated. No, it's just the best way I could articulate it. It meant that I got to a point in my graphic design career that I was hunger for more quality solutions. So that made me go into the web and then research, okay, what can I do? Because it was like I was in a circle of, okay, I was giving beautiful creatives, doing all that, but then there was something that I needed, and that was because I loved solutions and I want to see me design products that are actually solving problems other than the regular, okay, you design flyers and all, which I was very good. So what I did was I needed to upscale. So I went online and then I researched, okay, product design, UI UX design and all. But I didn't want to be like the regular UI UX designers out there. So what I did was I really took my time to understand, what kind of solutions I wanted to be designing, and then the first step I took was not to rely on my graphic design knowledge, but rather to see myself as a baby and then start learning from scratch. And that was how I started my product design journey. And what did I do to learn? It was basically what any regular Nigerian would have done. You started with YouTube, and then from there I started getting Udemy courses to check my design course and to go through design courses. In fact, I learned coding. Serious matter. I learned coding. I
Come
learned
on now.
HTML. I learned CSS. I started Java and then started JavaScript because I just wanted to understand a lot of things. Trust me, knowing the kind of person that I was, I knew that coding was not my way, because not that I didn't understand, but I was just not a numbers person. But then I wanted the relevance. So what I did was I decided that okay, I'm not going to code. I'm just going to understand code. Then I'm going to focus on visual. So those things helped to strengthen my decision so that I won't be carried away with knowing everything. So I'm able to focus strictly on visuals, and then from there I started designing prototypes. Uh Prototypes, personally, I didn't put any personal prototypes online because I really detest that. So I started designing prototypes just to get me to understand all these things, and then I started putting myself out there. So that is what I did for a product design. That was how I started. Well, that was not how the journey went, but just for the question, that is how I started. And then also, what else did I do? Okay, I was very particular. I was very particular about the kind of people that I associated with doing this journey. And that was because I had a lot of graphic designer friends. So the first thing I knew I had to do was look for friends in the line of product design. And also, I started developing friendships with people in the development industry. So that gave me a kind of closure when it comes to designing the right things. Meaning, I need to understand the kind of products that are working. I need to understand how these products are built so that I myself could also work my visuals in that line. So I wouldn't be learning off scale. So those are the precautions that I took. And then so far, so good. That was the journey. So upscaling, transition, and then growth. Those are the three things I focused on when I was starting my graphic design journey,
Amazing.
and that was because I was already a creative. So my advice basically is, if you're a starter out there, and you have no knowledge of creative graphic design like me, let me just tell you, you don't need to be a graphic designer to start product design. No, you don't need to. In fact, along the line in this webinar, I'll make you understand a lot of opportunities that are under product design as a user experience designer. And you will get to see that basically you don't need code and you don't even need graphic design like me. You just need the right path to learning. That is all. So upscale, transition, and growth. Once you can focus on those three things, then I'm very sure your beginning level is going to be very solid. And I think solid is very important for you to, move forward in your career. So that's basically how I started, Mr. Shego.
Wow, wow, wow. This is great. You guys, you know what to do. You know what to do. I want to see it. I want to see it. Before I move to the next question, you mentioned a lot of things, right? You mentioned how a person does not really need to know so much about design to be able to start. So that means what you're trying to say is every good person, like everybody that is very good today, like that everybody say, this guy is good, damn good. So that means there was a time that they never knew anything.
No, yeah, definitely,
Oh.
definitely.
Because it's almost looking like a myth, like, no, this guy was born with this thing. I wish I asked Perfection
No,
also this question. I wish I asked him this question also. Like, to ask him that, wait, Perfection, were you born with this thing? Like, so that means mastery is just a product of these three things that you have mentioned. Growth,
yes,
continuous
yes,
development, and
definitely.
all of it. Amazing,
And
amazing. Thank
also,
you.
and also,
Okay.
Mr. Shego, so as not to waste time doing question and answering, so I just saw somebody ask me, what do I mean by upscaling? So when I say upscaling, I was talking in respect to me and how I started product design. And when I said upscale, it meant that I believe what I'm about to say should be for the previous question, but let's just do it like this. Now, graphic design, I had to understand the economy and the market that I was. Now, no matter how much I tried, I mentioned something about skill saturation. It means no matter how much I try, I was moving in a circle as a designer, and I noticed that no matter how much you put your time into a particular skill, mm, if there are other skills in the market that are perceived to be better, no matter how much you want to raise your price, you cannot beat it. You can't. It's just like telling me now that the average salary of a graphic designer yearly, according to data, as you can go online and check it, is nothing roughly between the lowest point of $30,000 and $70,000. Now, the average salary of a product designer, the lowest point is now starting from the highest point of a graphic designer. That is the market perceived value. You cannot beat it. No matter how much you perceive yourself to be expensive, you cannot beat it. So I needed to upscale, and so I could set a new benchmark for my career. I didn't want the kind of benchmark that graphic designers was giving me. Benchmark of 80,000. That is even if you're in some countries like California, USA, you understand. In Nigeria, you cannot earn $5,000 in a year as a graphic designer if you don't know what you're doing. So it's harder. So I needed to set a new benchmark. So upscaling meant like I had to leave that circle. I mean, I could literally tell anybody anything about graphic design, right? But then it was like a circle for me. I wasn't comfortable there. So I just needed to upscale. So that means I had to transition into a career with better market value. You understand? We are all gunning for the money. So it's not about maybe passion or something. We are all gunning for the money. So graphic design is a cool profession, but product design is more perceived as more valuable in the market than graphic design. In fact, as a graphic designer, you still have to work with a product designer, and then the glory will still go to the product designer. So just know that product design has more market value. So I needed to upscale. That's what I
Passion
meant.
will not pay your bills. You can say it again. You can say it again and again. Oh, amazing. Wow, that's like crazy wisdom. Like, I said crazy wisdom. That's me using an oxymoron. Like crazy wisdom. Amazing. Like, so no comments. You killed it already. I have to take to the next. Wow. This is awesome. So so we have to be very fast.
Yes, sir.
So what are the opportunities available in the design industry? I think you have mentioned a part of it. And why do most designers transition into product design? One, what are companies looking out for in your portfolio? And what is the money back like?
Okay, so I'm going to be answering all these questions at once so we can save time. Now, what are the opportunities available in the design industry? For the sake of this thing, let me just focus majorly on product design, which is UI UX design, because we all know that product design is in a lot of areas. You can design a bio and it's a product. So now we are looking at digitally. So now there are lots of opportunities on that product design. So let me first of all say this. When you want to learn product design, don't imagine that you want to design websites and applications alone, because that is just the number 3 thing in the whole career opportunity. Now, when you want to design or when you want to learn product design, that is user experience design, and you have in your head that, oh, I need to be so good so that I can design beautiful websites, you would start learning the wrong things. Now, number one, when it comes to user experience design, and I'm saying user experience design now because most people have problem with differentiation. Is it not UI UX? Is it not user interface and then user experience? No. According to Google, now user experience is the cap. Visual design is under user experience. Let's just note that now. Now, you cannot have an experience. You cannot have a UI that doesn't have an experience. Then it is no longer a product when it comes to product design. Product design has to have data backing the whole journey. So if you have a product, right, and there is no data or user in mind or a solution in mind, then it is no longer a product. It is just an idea. It is just an image of something. Now, what do I mean? What I meant was, when it comes to user experience, there are a lot of cadres. You get to work with interaction designers, you get to work with visual designers, you get to work with motion designers, you get to work with even the current one, which is a blockchain now, VR and augmented realities. You get to work with UX researchers, you get to work with UX writers, you get to work with UX program managers, you get to work with UX engineers, and then you also get to work with conversation designers. Now,
Okay.
all these areas are absent when you see when people tell you how to learn product design. So now this is it. As a product designer, you have lots of opportunities. You can either become an interaction designer. Now, interaction designers are, they don't really focus on how the design looks, whether your button is color blue or whether your button is red. No. What they focus on is the flow. How does one screen move to the other? What is the importance of having this screen come in before this? Interaction designers are don't call it prototyping. No. One thing about Nigeria is we product designers, we are generalists, meaning we do all these things because it is required. But when you go to big organizations, all these things are separate. In fact, you that are even going to do the main, how the app looks, you are like the number 4 of the whole step process. So you have interaction designers, they determine the flow. You have visual designers, which is the general stigma in Nigeria, that is, you design beautiful UI and all those kind of stuff. But these people don't come in until the others have worked. That means until the UX researchers have worked, until the UX writers have worked, and all those kind of things. And then you also have via motion designers. This one, they determine the kind of motion flow in the apps. That's when you're designing, okay, should the transition into the next screen be subtle, all those kind of stuff. They are actually professional cadres of design. So I learned product design starting with how to design beautiful UI. Then later, as I grew in my career, I started to understand from applications and everything that, to be sincere, they really don't need you to design a food app that is very beautiful on your Instagram. No, they really just want to understand your processes before you got to that point. And then after you got to the design, they want to understand the result of it. So if you are looking for opportunities in product design, please don't focus on beautiful UI. Don't focus on learning Figma. Figma is a tool. Don't just focus on learning XD. You would need them, but don't focus on the foundations. Focus on understanding the careers. Focus on understanding whether you want to be just the visual person, whether you want to be the researcher, whether you want to be the conversationalist, whether you want to be the writer, because these apps are being designed, the content, or what will I call it, if you want to call, okay, let's say you design a button. If you don't want to call it a button, what is another way to call it to resonate with your users? There are people who come up with those texts you put inside those elements. That is also an opportunity. So just go online, research. In fact, the best way I did these opportunities was I went to freelance platforms where you can have the most little minute type of job of a particular profession. You can see somebody in content writing. Content writing will be broken down into like 20 other areas where people are actually making money. It made me to understand that product design is not all about designing Figma. There are a lot of things under it. So those are those things I mentioned. There is interaction designers, there is visual designers, there is motion designers, there is VR designers, there is UX researchers, there is UX writers, there is UX program managers, there is UX engineers, and then there is also conversation designers. Those are the ones I've listed for you. So you can go do your research, understand these areas. So by the time you are learning or you're starting the career, or while you're in the middle of the career, you can later on stop being a generalist. If you want to apply in Google, if you tell them you have a portfolio as a product designer, they will ask you which area. And that's the truth. Google doesn't, they don't employ generalists, they employ specialists. So now, specialists are people that have a specific area that they are very good at under product design, that is UI UX. So they employ specialists, not generalists. Now, if you want to stay in Nigeria or some startup companies, you can decide to be a generalist, meaning they don't have enough money to pay lots of specialists under that area. So you can be a generalist. But my advice to you is why being a generalist? Understand these opportunities so that by the time opportunities present themselves for you to be a specialist, you can open. So that is for that. And then the companies, okay, yeah, I was talking about companies now. What are companies looking out for in your portfolio, right? When I started, I was very, very keen on having a very strong portfolio because I understood that that's the only way I can get my voice out there. In fact, all my portfolios were created by me, my website was built by me, everything was done by me. And the aim is that none of my portfolios, like I've said before, none of my portfolios has a fictional work on it. Now, some people's portfolio has fictional works. There's nothing wrong there, right? But then when you're applying to some kind of companies, they're not looking for what you woke up one morning and did in your head. No, they're looking for actual experiences. And companies have a way of testing out if your product is real or it is not. Now, imagine going to an interview with a fake product, then you spoil your credibility already. So, if you're building a portfolio and you're applying to top companies, make sure that the works that you put on your portfolio are real works. If you don't have real works, go for collaborations. I have lots of collaborations. Go for collaborations. Collaborations helps you to be able to say that, okay, I was part of the team that worked on this. You don't have to wake up and use your tutorial for your portfolio. Don't do that, please. Don't do that. Don't use the tutorial you did on YouTube and put on your page and say you did that work. Don't do that because there are millions of people that watch that tutorials with you too. So don't do that. It spoils your credibility. Make sure that you seek collaborations, even if they don't pay you for it. As if it is just the button you designed, put now you cannot put on a portfolio that you were part of the people that designed this product. So please don't put fictional works on your portfolio. Don't put tutorial works on your portfolio because trust me, I made a lot of those mistakes and then I just found out that that was the reason why a lot of things were not working out. As a product designer, we don't need fake products and companies are not looking for that too. So don't put a lot of them. Then also for your portfolio, I believe companies are looking for your contributions to your community. My first client was gotten because of the contribution I made to a community. So please give to your community, no matter how little it is, give back to your community. What did I do? All I did was just make a carousel on a design. And then one of the companies that I actually consult in right now saw it and they were like, okay, can I make something similar for them? I was like, of course I can. So originally I thought, okay, they just like my work, so I just wanted to do it. So I did it for them. Then surprisingly, they needed to consult on a particular product that they were working on. So from there, I introduced myself, gave them my portfolio, and then I was like, oh, since you can do this, why don't you help us check out this product and see how it could be better? That's how I landed my first job in product design. So give to your communities because it helped me. I believe it will help you. Give back to your communities, give informations. Even when you're working on something, give an outline of how you did it. Let just people put things out there, things that can link back to you, put it out there. So that because product designers, we have a better advantage than software developers because there are lots of platforms that can help us to put our things out there, you understand, and then get visible easily. You cannot be screenshotting code and put it on Instagram or TikTok or anything. But you as a product designer, you have more visuals and you can make use of these visual tools to put your things out there, which is what I do. I do them a lot. And then once you have done this, there's one trap I would also advise you don't fall into. When it comes to money bag, there are lots of promissory companies, like they'll promise you the future is bright. Please watch out for companies like that. The moment they are not bringing real problems to you to solve, rather than they're bringing their desperation to you, don't go for it. Now, in terms of money back, a product designer, we all know you can go to Google today, you can see their average salary and all those kind of stuff. But in real truth, their product designers making way more than that. The value of product designers in terms of graphic design. No, sorry, in terms of sorry, I was a graphic designer. So the value of product designers for me, if I I don't want this, I just gonna be whining me. But for me, I consult at a company in California. Then I've worked with a few, but it is not a permanent position. Mostly consultants, and I know the value that they offer. So ranging from, if you're a product designer, you can either be valued per the product you are producing or per the skill set, like the value of the skill set in the market. Now, according to Google, your skill set right now, if you're a product designer as a junior level, you should be expecting nothing less than. I'm not talking about Nigeria now, because if you're in Nigeria, then probably you can see companies that will pay you. I've received 60,000 naira before. I won't lie to you. I've received I've received lots of very weird monies before. So in fact, I started I started with 15,000 there. I won't lie to you. But the truth is, I knew my value along the way, and then I stopped. I stopped allowing myself to be that desperate, and then I started going for the big guns. I started trying my best to get noticed by the big guns, and now, yes, obviously, we're all earning dollars. We're all earning dollars, but please, the value is high. Nothing less than starting low point $90,000 per year to um to 103 for product designers, $1,000 per year. Meaning, if you're putting yourself out there, understand the market value, and even when you're in interviews, don't sound too greedy, but don't go below the market value, because you wouldn't know how much these companies are willing to pay you. And I was in a situation where I was in an interview, and then because of my Nigerian mentality, I've I've not been exposed to some kind of offers before. So my Nigerian mentality, okay, 150,000 there will be cool. By the time you convert this money to dollars, you lose your professionalism in the sight of international clients. So please understand the market value, and then use that value to set your range for how much you should be getting in the industry when you have interviews. And also, yes, there is money in product design, there is money in designing websites, apps, and all those kind of stuff, products.
Oh,
But please
oh,
understand the market value, and don't set your range below market value. No matter what you do, don't do that. Now, there are some opportunities that will come to you that are fairly okay. Use them, but don't stay permanent. Don't take it as a full-time role. No, you'll be depriving yourself of a lot of things. Like Mr. Perfection said when he was doing, another company called him to come and stay in Lagos. Yeah, I've got companies like that too. They'll tell, okay, please, can you appear on Tuesdays and on Thursdays? I'm like, no, I'm not coming. Okay, can we at least see you once so that you can interact with the team? There's Google Meet for that. So yes, I've also rejected companies where they will allow you to come physically, for even the pay was not even that good. Do you understand? So please don't accept below market value. And also
wow.
stay away from companies that want to use you. You would know them the way they approach you. Stay away from companies, because they will promise you, and then when you're working, you feel more used than you are gaining. Any company you're working for and you're not gaining anything from them, or you're pouring into it, don't stay in that company. They would hinder your growth. So money bag wise, it is a lucrative company. Go to Google, you're gonna check it there. I don't know. Am I supposed to say how much I earn in a month, Mr.
No, 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 no,
Shembo?
you don't have to.
I don't, I don't think
But
I don't think I should say that, but
yeah, you have
don't
said it.
charge
You have
below
said a
market.
lot. We don't know if somebody's close
So,
to us now. So,
uh,
all right, all right,
so
all right. That was deep. In fact, you have even like answered the third question even inside what I've said. Thank you very much. Thank you very much today. So I'll just be taking
yes,
one
sir.
question before I move to the last part of this thing. So I think
Hello.
I think we did of there for 5 minutes. I'll give you
Hello.
guys time. So please just go straight to the point.
Hello.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Yeah, good evening.
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah. Speak.
Good evening. Yeah, my name is Timile.
Speak.
All right. Yeah, I'm a graphics designer, and I've been designing for like 2 years now. Are you hearing me at all?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, you can just continue. We
All
can
right.
hear you.
All right. Yeah, I've been designing for like 2 years now, and the I've not been working outside Nigeria, and the new startups I work with, their pay is not that okay. So a friend of mine said I can actually maybe transition to UI UX. You understand? So I've been trying to like learn UI UX for a while now, but it's actually hard for me to, I'm actually working with some people here, and I need to like maybe fix my time in learning product designing. And my aim for learning that product design is not just because I have passion for it. Actually, it's just because I needed to like maybe I'm seeing that okay, a lot of my friends are like actually in something tangible from that skill. So that's why I said, okay, let me transition to it. But my timing to learning that product design is actually something that I'm really fighting with now. So I'm now asking now that how can I like transition well, and how can I like help myself in becoming a good product design. And number two, how many years of experience do you have, sir, Mr. Like how many years have you been a product designer, a graphic designer, and how so that part. And I think my last question is what is functional work? Is it fictional or functional work? Yeah, you said something about that. And lastly, okay, VR design too. Yeah, I don't really understand that part. So that's my question, sir.
Mr. Shemu, should I go ahead?
Yeah, sure. You can just run.
Okay.
I don't know how you
So
want to
let
do
me
it.
just
You didn't want to
let me
do
just
this.
wrap everything up. Let me just
Yes.
wrap everything up. So, first of all, I have nothing less than 5 years in graphic design and 2.5 years going to three now in product design. So that is for that. And then also, now that your time is very clustered together and you want to transition into UI UX design or product design or a no code person, what you need to do is there are lots of platform online that helps you to schedule your time well, very well. At least I have gone through courses that has over 400 episodes, you understand, in that same course. And all you need to do is don't rush it. Like Mr. Perfection said, it doesn't happen in a day. Even in a month, you can still be trying to transition. The main important thing is understand and measure your growth. Once you fix a particular time in a day, even if it's 2 hours, you understand, go through the course and do it. It doesn't have to be extensively 10 hours on your system. No. Fix a time, go through the course, and then measure your growth. As time goes on, you end up finding out that by the time you see your growth scale in a month or 2 months, you'll be more encouraged. So the time will have to be created. It doesn't have to be as extensive as 5 hours. If you know you cannot dedicate up to 3 hours in a day, make it 2 hours because na when person they chop. You understand? If you know that where you are right now is where you are getting a kind of income, I don't want you to perform less so that you will be seen as unserious. So set a time that is convenient, even if it's night, 2 hours, 3 hours, watch the course or do the practice and everything, and then trust me, everything will be fine. And then lastly, you mentioned VR and AR. Now, on that product, now we it is the trend that is happening right now. If you are into Web3 and blockchain, because I designed a lot for blockchain products. So if you're into Web3 and all those kind of stuff, or you understand what they call virtual reality or augmented reality, that's what VR is. Now, product designers are transitioning into that space, which is my own area of projection right now because it is going to take over the market very soon, VR and AR. So as a product designer, that's how I fit in. So please, VR is basically just virtual reality. AR is augmented reality. You can go online and check it out. Augmented is using your immediate environment and putting objects on them, while VR is immersing people in a different world entirely. So you can go online and check more about it. Thank you very much.
Whoa. Thank you very much. Like, Mide, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
As in, like, this is a lot. We've shared a lot of things, like a lot of wisdom here. Like, many people are really like happy about this thing. Oh, there's someone that has been asking about design thinking. Can we take this question? Because our time
Design
is
thinking.
okay. Please just help
What
me with
exactly is the problem with design thinking? What exactly? Because if I were to explain design thinking, it is in graphic design, it is in product design. Design thinking basically is just go to, because of time. Seriously, design thinking is something that when you start talking about it, 30 seconds is not enough. So what we do is, can you message me personally, Mr. Shego? Can this person like
Oh,
just message me
awesome,
personally?
awesome,
You
awesome. Of
understand?
course.
If you can drop my contact, let them reach me personally, then I'll explain in detail what they
Yeah,
need
no
to know.
problem. No problem. No problem. Thank you very much for that. Okay, guys. Kindly give us time to the topic. Don't worry. There is a group that okay. Are you in the global community? I mean, become a global asset. There is a group for that already, so you guys can network from there. I really need to wrap up now. I'm not expectation. Don't worry, you can. I'm going to drop his contact. He's going to talk to you directly from the group. All right, he's going to talk to you directly. Okay, don't worry. It's not even webinar because many of you have learned a lot of things now, and you feel like I know so many things. But the thing is, some of you have started and you want to start making money. Some of you have not even started, but you want to start. So like there are a lot of like plans. We don't just come here to come and say that okay, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, and that, and at the very end, you find yourself lost again. All right.